Hello guys, welcome back. Today I will show you a team that was created by Fatal. It is a very solid team that allows to split Hot Cartel into two, so that you can run two 2.7 million teams and you don't have to gear up your JABBAs, which is pretty nice. That is the team. Fatal made the video, but he had the Zeta and Guido, which changes a little something at one point in the run that I will mention. Strategy it should be pretty similar. I haven't watched his video, but it's based on what he did, so yeah. But I still wanted to feature it because I think it's a very interesting team and worth pursuing more so than the JABBAs. So let's jump into it. The battle itself is very quick to do. You can have some bad RNG cases that force you to restart, but overall it can be done very quickly. So the mod should be displayed now on the screen. So Cat Bane, you want him to be decently fast with high potency, and he needs to be faster than Bush. So that means that he needs to have 21 speed more than her. You will see why. So yeah, speed and potency mainly. Bush, she needs high offense, a crit damage triangle, offense arrow, offense cross, and a lot of offense in general. She's going to be assisting a lot, applying a lot of bombs, and she doesn't need to be modded for potency. She has very high base potency, and Cat Bane gives 100% extra potency on top of it. So yeah, just offense on her. Chrysanthemum needs to be very fast. You actually want him to move before the dragon so that he can disarm the dragon at start. Then you have Guido. Guido, you want him to be... So his speed is... Right now I have him at this speed. He could actually be a little slower than he is, but it works pretty well, and it covers some RNG cases where you have Boba who double taps. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So I would advise to stick around this speed so that you don't have too much RNG restart cases. And you want some potency on him. He's actually here because he has a 100% Tomato removal ability on his special 2 that you absolutely need here to get the dragon back to 0 so that you can apply more bombs before he plays. And then finally Boba. Boba, you want him to be made with very high offense, crit damage set, crit damage triangle. He's going to be doing most of the damage with a big rocket at the end. So you want to make sure you have high crit damage and offense so that the rocket actually does enough damage to finish the run. Now for the strategy, why Cat lead? Right, it's a lead that you never use usually, but here it's actually very useful and perfect for this raid. The lead gives 100% extra potency, like I mentioned before, which guarantees that Bush and Guido will be able to apply their debuffs. Chrysanthemum as well on his basic. So that in and of itself is already very good, but then the best part comes next. Whenever you apply a debuff, you gain advantage. And that's how you're gonna guarantee Boba to get a crit on the rocket. Alright, so the start of the run, we have Chrysanthemum who goes first, like I said. So he starts with speed up because he has a Hot Cartel lead. That allows him to be actually fast enough to go before the dragon. And we're gonna disarm the dragon. Disarm reduces the crit damage and the offense of the dragon. And when the dragon basics, which he will once, he's gonna gain a dot on him, which is also good because that's one more debuff for Boba to crit with a rocket afterwards. Alright, so we start with the disarm. Now the dragon is gonna spit and basic, and here already we got unlucky. As you can see, no bombs on the dragon. That means that we didn't apply a bomb with Bush, so no Omicron trigger, which lowers the damage. And by the way, the Omicron is necessary for this run. If you don't have it's mandatory. If you don't have the Omicron Bush, you're not gonna be able to do it. And now, yeah. Okay, so this is a bad run. Typically, this is a good example. Boba didn't get speed down on him, so he moved too early. He's supposed to go after the other two, but because they got speed down and he didn't, he moved too early, so this is a bad case. The Omicron also didn't work, no bombs on the dragon, so in that case, just restart. You're gonna save yourself some time. It's fine, it doesn't take very long. We just jump back into it and retry again. Alright, so Chrysanthemum goes first, disarms the dragon. This, always do that. And this time we got 1 bomb, 2 bombs. So the Omicron actually triggered this time, which gives us some offense, defense penetration, and no speed down on Boba again. That's really never happened to me twice in a row, but maybe because I got the Omicron I can still try to go for it. Let's see. Alright, so Cat Bane is gonna go... Yeah, I don't know if... I think it's actually not gonna work. Or maybe. Let's see. So Cat can sometimes double tap, sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. Alright, now Guido's gonna go before the dragon, so this is good at this point. We're gonna use special 2 to get the Tomato back to 0. Hopefully this doesn't get resisted. Nice. 8 bombs. Pay attention to the bombs to count how many times Bush Omicron actually triggers. So Grido with a bomb, 9, 10, 11. So we got another trigger here. Now we're gonna basic. So Basic King actually is gonna shock the dragon and prevent him from gaining tenacity up and crit avoidance, critical hit immunity when he's right here, when he swallows someone. And we actually want to do that because we want to keep applying bombs after someone gets swallowed. So basic with Chrysanthemum. We got the payout, so Boba takes a bonus turn when you get the payout, so that's fine. I'm just gonna basic here. And now Cat Bane goes again, and this is why you need Cat to be faster than Bush. Well, here Boba went before, but if Boba didn't and Bush was faster than Cat, Bush would be the one to blow up the bombs, and then Cat Bane wouldn't have the time to take another turn before the dragon. And that allows him to further reduce the turn meter, because once the dragon follows someone, you can no longer reduce his turn meter. So here we reduce turn meter to gain some tempo on the dragon, which allows Boba to take another turn and then one turn after that again to use the rocket. So we're gonna basic. Now we're gonna use this. And yeah, and now we use this. This is very important. This applies an array of debuffs on the dragon, which by the way only works because he has Defiance. If he had 0 stacks of Defiance, then this would apply nothing and then Boba would not gain advantage. But because this applies debuffs, as per CAD lead, Boba's gonna gain advantage right here, like so. And now he's primed for his rocket on the next turn. So now we're just gonna keep replaying some extra bombs, hopefully some extra debuffs as well. And there we go. And 1.5 million, big rocket for 1.9 million here, and there we go. And the run is over. So it's very, very, very quick. You actually kill the dragon before it even burrows for the first time. But for that, you have to properly align the strategy. So I'm just gonna play it one more time because, like I said, Boba was not supposed to go before the other two. He received the speed down. This is not what happens most of the time, so let's go over that one again. Yeah, so you can have some, depending on who gets speed down and who resists it, you can have some shenanigans with the turn order, but as you saw, this worked. So let's see if we can get another edge case or a typical run. Alright, so who gets speed down this time? Okay, this time Bush didn't get it, the others did. Yeah, and because Bush didn't get it, she's actually gonna go before Cat, which is well, that's actually gonna be a good example to show you why this is not good. So Bush blows up the bomb. Now we get Cat goes a bit early. I double tap too. That's not good because if Boba double taps as well, the dragon will go before Grido. Yeah. So yeah. So dragons followed too early. That's game over. So we can just start again. And that's why I don't like having Bush faster than Cat, because you have the RNG of Cat double tapping, which messes up the turn order. And that's because she received the speed down, he didn't. Yeah, nothing you can do about that. But it just takes 30 seconds to go back and come back in, so it's not too much of a hassle. Alright, so now everyone got speed down. That's more typical. So Cat is gonna blow up a bomb to get rid of the debuffs. Now Bush is gonna basic counter dragon. Yeah, we got another Omicron proc here. So basic. Omicron proc again. Turn meter removal, perfect. 4 out of 4 on the Omicron proc so far. Because that was resisted, but this one went through, and that's 5 out of 5 Omicron procs. Very, very good RNG. Didn't get the shock on the dragon. That's not ideal. Let's see if we can still make it. So once he swallows, Chrysanthemum is gonna gain his buffs and I won't be able to debuff him anymore. So I'm gonna try to stack as many as I can before and see if I can still make it. Alright, so now at this point, I can no longer debuff him, except with that this actually goes through even with tenacity up. So we can still get advantage, fortunately. But now all the bombs from Bush are resisted and she can no longer crit. You're gonna notice that every time she applies the bomb, she gains advantage. So she always crits on her assists. So now I'm losing quite a bit of damage, but maybe I can still make it. Let's see. Okay, let's see if the rocket can actually do it. 2.4, yeah. So unfortunately, because of the shock that was resisted, unless, yeah, 2.5. So it's pretty close, right? But not quite enough because the shock was resisted, and so the dragon gained density up. I applied less bombs, and that lowered the damage of Bush. of Boba, I mean, because there was less Bush procs. Okay, so let's do that again. One more time. And then you should have a pretty good idea of how it works. I mean, you probably already do, but... Okay, so we got a resist on the Omicron proc here. Speed down got a blind on everyone, so it can still go. Let's see. Okay, this one went through. So did this one 2 out of 2. Or 2 out of 3. 3 out of 4. Okay, this time the bomb actually... yeah. 4 out of 5, so not too bad. Let's see if we can get the shock. There we go. 5 out of 6. I'm just gonna basic here. Perfect, another proc. The meter reduction went through, that's perfect. 21 did... yeah, 21. This one got resisted. You can see if the Omicron proc works by looking at the bombs. After Bush applies one, if you can see it go up again, that means it went through. Because every proc is independent, and so even if the first one goes through, the second can still get resisted. 24, there we go. You can see it went up. So here I'm gonna use this. Guarantee the advantage proc on Boba. And you can see the damage is higher. We're at 1.3 when Boba went with the rocket, and we still have some hits going on here. Gonna be at 1.7 probably. Yeah, 1.6, and now we have a bigger rocket. 2.7, there we go. So yeah, this is an excellent team. Very, very nice fan by Fatal. So you get 2.7 with this team, right? Fairly easily. Might take 2 to 3 retries, but with the modding, if you respect the modding that I showed in the video, you should end the strategy. You should get it pretty consistently. Also works on Relic 7 tier. So if you don't want to take them all to Relic 8, you can do that at Relic 7. Greedo is really the only one that's kind of worthless outside of the raid. But you have to take him to Relic 6 for Jabba unlock, I think, so it's just 1 Relic up. This one is already Relic 8 for Executor. This one, maybe you don't have it. You should have him at Relic 7. He's a very good tank. So again, you should have him there. Bush, very good attacker at Relic 7. And then Cad Bane. Cad Bane is actually good to Relic up because of his ship. Makes your Executor fleet a little bit stronger, so it's not a waste for sure. And so yeah, you run those guys. And then once you're done with them, you can still run another squad of Hot Cartel, which is this one. So Embo is very important. If you don't have Embo, you can do it, but it's a lot more RNGE. As for the last two, I have her at Relic 8, so I'm using her. You can also use Gamoran Guard. That guarantees that he gets followed because he has a taunt. You can use Juhani if you have her at Relic 8. The last two don't really matter. I'm using Django because I have him at Relic 8, but yeah. Basically, the main three are those three. Embo is excellent. Whenever he crits, he goes again, so he can use specials very often, which supercharges Jabba's ult and makes this team a lot easier. So I will cover it in a video sometime this week. Not sure exactly when, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. But yeah, so you can do it with just those 4. I've done it. It took me like 25 retries. Still have to figure out the perfect strategy, but yeah, that's the idea. So you run those guys, and then you can run the other one that I just showed before. So you get 5.4 million with 2 Hot Cartel teams, and you just can skip the Jawas or keep them at whichever gear level they're at and get your 300k with them. So yeah, so that's the strategy, guys. I hope this was good for you and you got something out of it. Really try out this team. It's very, very easy to run, very quick, very nice, 2.7 million damage. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.